The day at work felt like a sweet dream for Sicil and Sebastian. A delicate blend of nostalgia and something entirely new. Their tasks were mundane, meetings routine, but the space between them seemed to hum with an energy they'd never felt before. It was as though the walls that once kept them apart had crumbled, leaving behind a shared warmth that neither could ignore. "Seb, are you trying to murder your keyboard?" Sicil teased, leaning over his desk with a mischievous grin. Her shoulder brushed against his, and the brief contact sent a pleasant jolt through both of them. "You're typing like you're mad at it." Sebastian didn't look up, though a smile tugged at his lips. "I type with conviction, Sicil. Unlike you, who probably flutters over the keys like a butterfly." "Conviction?" she shot back, tilting her head. "More like destruction. If your keyboard could talk, it would file a restraining order." He finally glanced at her, his eyes dancing with amusement. "Says the woman who still has typo trauma from sending an email with the wrong attachment last week." She gasped in mock offense, shoving his arm lightly. "That was one time, and I fixed it before anyone noticed." "Sure you did," he teased, dodging another playful shove. Later, during a coffee break, Sicil waited until Sebastian was distracted on a call to stealthily grab his cup and take a long sip. He turned just in time to catch her mid-act, his jaw dropping in exaggerated disbelief. "You did not just steal my coffee," he said, clutching his chest dramatically. She grinned, wiping the corner of her mouth with the back of her hand. "What? You left it unattended. I'm just enforcing the law of natural selection." "Natural selection, huh? Then don't complain when I start labeling my coffee cups with "Do Not Touch" Sicil-proof warnings." "You could try," she shot back with a smirk, "but we both know I'd still find a way." The hours slipped by, filled with brainstorming sessions, shared glances, and the kind of teasing only two people deeply comfortable with each other could share. At one point, while reviewing a document together, their hands brushed as they reached for the same paper. The contact was brief but electric, and Sicil quickly withdrew, pretending to adjust her pen. "Careful, Sicil," Sebastian said lightly, though his voice carried a teasing undertone. "I might start thinking you're doing that on purpose." She rolled her eyes but couldn't suppress a smile. "Oh, please, don't flatter yourself, Mr. Ego." But her cheeks betrayed her, tinged pink from the flush of the moment. By lunchtime, they sat together, their conversation flowing effortlessly. Every so often their eyes would meet across the table, and Sebastian would offer her a small smile that made her heart skip. "This feels different, doesn't it?" he asked softly as they gathered their things to head back to work. Sicil paused, meeting his gaze. "Yeah," she admitted with a gentle smile. "But it feels good." The rest of the day passed, leaving the feeling. This is just the beginning. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the office in hues of warm amber, Sicil glanced at Sebastian, who was clearing up his desk. The day had been light-hearted and productive, filled with teasing banter and a quiet intimacy that now defined their bond. She hesitated for a moment before speaking. "Hey, Seb," she began, her tone casual. "What do you think about heading to your family's farmhouse by the beach? It's the weekend, and my parents aren't around. We could spend some time there, just us." Sebastian paused, his eyes lighting up at the suggestion. "The beach house? Are you kidding me? That's the best idea I've heard all day," he said with a grin. "Why didn't you bring this up earlier? We could have skipped the whole work thing." Sicil rolled her eyes, laughing. "Because, Mr. Responsible, we have jobs to keep and event to deliver. But now that we're done for the day, why not?" Without hesitation, Sebastian grabbed his car keys, pulled her in his arms as they walked to the car. Sicil pulled out her phone. "We should let our parents know." Sebastian nodded, unlocking the car as Sicil typed a quick message in the family group chat. "Sicil, hey guys, Sebastian and I are heading to the beach house for the weekend. Thought we'd spend some time there. Hope you're having a great trip." Sebastian smirked, pulling out his own phone to add to the message. Sebastian: "Yup, beach vibes it is. Don't worry, I won't let Sicil sink." The replies started pouring in almost instantly. Arthur: "Beach house? Sounds perfect. Enjoy yourselves, but don't burn it down." Jane: "Take lots of pictures, Sicil." And don't forget sunscreen, both of you. Albert, be good, you two. No surfing in the dark. Jenny, I will ask the housekeeper to come and cook food for both of you. Don't fill up on marshmallows. Sebastian chuckled, nudging Sicil as he showed her the messages. Well, they're cool about it. Let's hit the road. The drive to the farmhouse was filled with music and laughter. Sebastian turned the stereo up, and they sang along to their favorite songs, sometimes off-key, but always full of joy. I don't know what's worse, Sicil teased. Your singing or your crazy moves. Sebastian feigned offense. Excuse me, I have moves. The steering wheel cha-cha is a thing, thank you very much. Sure it is, Sicil quipped, snapping a quick photo of him mid-dance. This one's going to the family group chat. No way, Sebastian said, reaching over to grab her phone while she laughed and leaned away. As they reached the farmhouse and stepped out of the car, the cool sea breeze greeted them, carrying the rhythmic sound of waves crashing against the shore. The farmhouse stood tall and inviting, its weathered wood glowing softly under the moonlight. This place never gets old, Sicil said, breathing in the salty air. Sebastian unlocked the door, gesturing dramatically. Welcome to our humble abode. Mi casa es tu casa. Sicil laughed, stepping inside. The interior was cozy and rustic, with large windows overlooking the ocean and a fireplace that begged to be lit. Okay, first things first, Sebastian said, rubbing his hands together. What's the plan? Movie night? Midnight beach walk? Or just raiding the kitchen for snacks? Sicil grinned, setting her bag down. How about all of the above? But first, let's let our parents know we're here. They both typed in their family group chat. Sicil, we're here safe and sound. Sebastian, the waves are calling. Don't wait up for updates. We'll be busy living our best beach lives. The responses came almost immediately. Arthur, enjoy it, kids. But remember, no all-nighters. Your parents need grandkids someday. Jenny, behave yourselves and make sure you eat something decent. No living off marshmallows. Albert, marshmallows don't count as a food group. Take care. Jane, look who is talking. You spent an entire weekend getaway on marshmallows, remember? Arthur, and still that was the best holiday ever. They act like we're teenagers, Sicil said, shaking her head. Well, Sebastian said, smirking, if the shoe fits. After a quiet dinner and a serene walk along the moonlit beach, Sicil and Sebastian returned to the farmhouse, the cozy warmth of the crackling fire casting soft golden hues over the room. The ocean's rhythmic melody played faintly in the background, a subtle harmony to the unspoken emotion simmering between them. They settled onto the couch, their bodies close enough for their shoulders to brush. Sicil broke the silence with a laugh, her voice light and teasing. Remember that time we tried to build a sandcastle here as kids and the tide washed it away? Sebastian smirked, his eyes glinting with playful mischief. You mean you tried to build it? I warned you it was too close to the water, but you were too stubborn to listen. Details, Sicil replied, waving her hand dismissively, her lips curving into a grin. Sebastian shook his head, chuckling softly. Some things never change. A comfortable quiet fell between them as Sicil leaned back, her gaze drifting to the fire. The flames flickered, their glow reflected in her hazel eyes. She turned her face toward him, her expression shifting to something softer, more vulnerable. This was a good idea, she murmured, her voice barely above a whisper. Sebastian's smile deepened, his features bathed in tenderness as he leaned closer and pressed a feather-like kiss to her temple. The best idea, he agreed, his voice rich with sincerity. Sicil tilted her head up to meet his gaze, her eyes searching his as if seeking reassurance. In the depths of his blue eyes, she found the answer she didn't realize she needed. With a surge of emotion, she leaned in, her lips brushing against his in a kiss that was gentle yet brimming with unspoken love. Sebastian stilled for only a moment before responding, his lips moving against hers in a kiss that grew from tentative to fervent, an unrestrained expression of his feelings. His hand rose to cradle her face, his thumb gently sweeping across her cheek as if to memorize her touch. When Sicil pulled back slightly, overwhelmed by the depth of their connection, Tears welled in her eyes. "I'm sorry," she whispered, laughing softly at herself. "I don't know why I'm crying." Sebastian's thumb caught a stray tear before it could fall. "Don't apologize," he murmured, his voice low and soothing. "It just means you feel this as much as I do." She smiled through her tears, her fingers threading into his hair. With every caress, she felt a sense of calm wash over her, a feeling of safety and belonging she hadn't experienced in so long. Their lips met again, and this time, the kiss was deeper, infused with a hunger they could no longer deny. Their touches grew bolder, each caress a testament to their newfound intimacy. Sebastian's hands trailed along her arms, her back as if memorizing every inch of her. His lips left a trail of fire along her jawline, her neck, each kiss eliciting soft sighs from Sicil that echoed in the quiet room. When he lifted her effortlessly in his arms, she wrapped herself around him, her heart pounding in anticipation. He carried her to the bedroom, where the soft glow of the firelight spilled in, wrapping them in warmth. Gently, he laid her on the bed, his gaze never leaving hers. Their love unfolded like a symphony, each touch and whisper a note in the melody of their union. They moved together with a rhythm born of deep connection and trust, surrendering entirely to the moment. The world outside faded into obscurity, leaving only the two of them in their own timeless sanctuary. As the night deepened, the farmhouse echoed with the quiet symphony of their passion, a harmonious blend of tenderness and desire that tied them closer together. When the soft morning light filtered through the window, painting the room in golden hues, Sicil stirred. She traced the lines of Sebastian's jaw with her fingertips, her touch feather-light, waking him from his slumber. Sebastian opened his eyes slowly, his sleepy smile melting her heart. "Good morning," he murmured, his voice husky and warm. Sicil returned his smile, her fingers lingering on his chest, savoring the moment. "Good morning," she replied softly, leaning down to press a kiss to his lips. In the quiet intimacy of the new day, their love felt boundless, a promise of the beautiful journey they would continue to share.